I'm blank. Hi everyone, welcome to Fertility TV. I'm Dr. Marc Sklar, the fertility expert, and today I'm talking about one of my favorite and newest topics to bring up with all of you, which is skincare. So I am super excited and really lucky to have Abby and Rachel here from Annmarie Skin Care. They're going to educate all of you about the importance of natural and healthy skincare products and why they create the products that they do. So thanks for joining me, ladies. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I read online about kind of how Annmarie got serendipitously involved in the skincare line. How did the two of you get involved in the skincare line?
So I can start. So Annmarie and Kevin, and a little bit about their story that I find fascinating is that they never intended on creating a company.
Right.
They had their video blog that they were super stoked on, and they honestly just wanted to find a solution to the problem, which was there's chemicals in skincare. So once they found the line that they loved and they started, working with a formulator to create the line, they're just really educators and wanting to get information out there. And another thing that they really care about is transparency with labeling and things like that.
Yeah.
And then I was a field organizer for a campaign here in California. And they were volunteers and we just became friends. This was about 5 years ago.
Cool.
So yeah.
Awesome.
And then I joined, so I used to be practicing esthetician, and Rachel would come in and get facials, and she would bring the Annmarie products, and at the time I was using like borderline chemical skincare and treatment, and I was trying to get like the spa manager to like change lines, but she was pretty resistant to it, so I would just like use some of the Annmarie like serums during facials, and then just fell in love with the line. And then she was like, oh, you should come work for us. We need an esthetician, someone knowledgeable with skincare to like work with customer support. And then that evolved into, I've been here for almost 4 years. So it's been
awesome. That's great. Clearly a passion for both of you, and that's really important, obviously, when you're in this field. I can tell you from my personal experience with skincare, although I certainly don't go to the lengths that my wife does. When I walk into the bathroom, and it's been a joke recently with my wife and I, she's constantly trying different things. So there's like, oh, one week it's this, and then when that bottle's done, she's got 3 other things on there, and I look at this myriad of skincare products. This is absurd. This is just crazy. One, you've got to find something that you like, and 2, I'm just always in shock at the amount of things that are being used for eyes and skin and this and that, and so forth. So things that I don't typically think about, but I know that all the women watching definitely do. So what kind of sets Annmarie Skin Care apart from other skincare lines or beauty lines?
So we have a unique 3-step proprietary honest, wild, beautiful process. That's what we like to call it.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
And I think what makes us different than most lines, and when I say most lines, I'm talking about conventional lines, like chemical, like based lines, things that you would find in like department stores or like a CVS. We have a lot of intention going into the creation of our products. So we, select organic, natural, wild-crafted herbs and really high-quality plant oils, and then we infuse those herbs into these carrier oils and aloe vera juice for up to 30 days at a low heat, which extracts all the plant properties but doesn't kill off any of the nutrients. So it's like the integrity of the formula is preserved.
Nice.
And then we craft using, we add in like additional plant actives like plant cells and stem cells and aromatherapy essential oils. And then we package everything with intent using like mirror glass, sustainable materials. So like from point A to Z, the products are, made at the highest integrity. And, that's not the case with most conventional lines. It's all about just manufacturing the most and using cheap chemicals
to make the most money.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to put preservatives in products, but we're trying to do something different so that we don't have to have parabens and chemicals and hormone disruptors in skincare.
Right.
Same with packaging. It's so easy to get a cheap box and a Mylar label or something with polyurethane and chemicals, but we're really trying to do something different by providing a label made from sugarcane fiber, and that has an adhesive that's biodegradable and that's non-toxic, and boxes that are made from a facility with completely powered by wind power. So, doing things like that and taking it to the next level of really thinking about how we can make this process better and how we can really bring more awareness to the industry and to our customers about what's out there and what these companies are providing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just about the finished product or, what's in the bottle, although that's obviously important, but it's also, clearly part of your mission to look at, beginning to end the whole process of where everything's produced and what its impact is on not only the body, but the world, right? Because we've got to live here a little bit longer, hopefully a lot longer. So I've been doing a lot of research on, for many, many years on endocrine issues, hormonal issues. My population of followers is all related to conception and fertility. And so it's obviously a big thing for me. I was amazed to find that, it's been like, 70 years since the last law was changed in the US. And the difference between Europe and the US in terms of chemicals that can and can't be used in skincare products. I mean, it's absurd. It clearly shows the difference between, the US and what our mindset is and where we're headed, or what we've been doing, hopefully headed in a different direction. So one of the things that I'm always keen on looking at for my patients is what chemicals are they in contact with, what's touching their skin or their body, or are they ingesting, and then how it's affecting their endocrine system. Rachel, can you take a minute? I think my followers are tired of listening to my voice about this, so maybe you could shed a different voice but send the same message.
Yeah, so it's kind of frightening thinking about how much is not regulated in terms of chemicals. There's products brought onto the market every year that are untested, unapproved, and they don't have to go through any process of testing their chemicals and disclosing their chemicals.
Right.
And of those, over time, there's about 84,000 chemicals, and about 1% of that is tested to prove their safety.
It's crazy.
Which is insane. And then thinking about women, we use, maybe the average 12 products. It was from a study, 12 products every morning with 168 chemicals that we're putting on our skin in those 12 products.
Yeah.
For men, it's I think around 85 or 78 or something like that. But women, it's 168 chemicals every single morning that we're putting on our skin, not knowing what it's doing. And a lot of it isn't disclosed on the labels.
Yeah, I've noticed the whole ingredient or lack of ingredients on labels as I've started to pay attention.
Yeah, it's disturbing. And there's a few that, we think like, oh, what are these ingredients? Like, what are we not finding? And I think one of the biggest ones would be fragrance. Fragrance, there's very limited regulations on that. And it's pretty much a cocktail of 5,000 ingredients and different molecules that they can put in there. And there was a Fair Packaging Labeling Act passed a long time ago to protect proprietary information from perfume industry. But that's the loophole where now they have this ability to not disclose anything, and they can just put fragrance, and it can include parabens, it can include diethyl glycol, phthalate, and all of those are pretty toxic. They could be nervous system depressants, they could cause liver and kidney problems, they are carcinogenic. There's so many different things that are in fragrance.
Yeah, I find it's a huge issue with my patients, especially those who have immune issues, and they're just trying to regulate, they're trying to combat everything that's coming at them. And certainly all these toxins are going to be things that potentially trigger a response in them. And it's hard to change these things, because when I've had conversations with my patients, they're either they're used to it because they've, you're in your routine, right? Or the cost of switching and shifting. Any recommendations or feedback on those 2 points?
Yeah, I think with cost, and I'll just say this really quick and then give it to Abby, if you can't afford a high-end clean product line, of course I would love to say use our products, maybe buy one thing that might be really great for just overall, but use simple ingredients. Use an avocado oil, use a coconut oil in your body, use things where you're not buying this synthetic product, really think about nature and doing a lot of do-it-yourself recipes where you can really know what you're putting on your body and on your face.
I really liked that whole educational combo. But going back to the first question, when you said like what differentiates us, like what makes us stand out. So I work in wholesale. I work with a lot of our vendors that resell the line, and I'm noticing that so many like functional medicine doctors and people in wellness are like wanting to bring on our brand, because they all are also working with women who are trying to have like more hormonal balancing. Like they give them supplements, they like give them these diet plans, and then they want to like seal the package with like a clean skincare line. So it's really awesome, not only being a beauty line where we're in boutiques and spas, but we're also in these extended, retail, vendors that carry the line and trust us and enough to recommend to their clients who are combating illness. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's really why I started looking for it. When I started looking at, when I worked with patients for the last, 16 plus years, I'm always starting on the inside, right? Which is great, but your skin is exposed to so much more than your digestive system on a daily basis. And if we can protect that layer and protect what it's coming in contact with, we could in many ways make even a bigger impact. So yeah, absolutely. I think that's why the more natural and integrative medical field is moving in that direction. Yeah.
I think like women too are really, your skin is the largest organ, obviously, and there's so much surface area to cover. So when someone looks at a product and they might see like paraben at the very end, they're like, oh, I'm absorbing such a small amount. But when you're applying something like twice a day on a large surface area, long term, it's like actually like a lot of absorption.
Oh yeah. Well, and all the different products, right? Because even if paraben's the last one in all of them, it all adds up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I always like to give that visual picture, and women are buying something, like just think about that. Think about the long-term use of a product.
Yeah. I think 2 things that I recommend to patients when they're trying to make switches is, one is, just take, as one product ends, find a replacement for it that's cleaner and healthier. And 2, with combating the kind of potential expense of that change, is that for me, we're going to spend way more money if we don't take care of ourselves and our health. We're going to spend it and give it back to either insurance companies or the hospitals or whoever it is, right, in the medical field, versus, giving it back to yourself, right? And in the long run, you're probably going to save yourself money in that regard. Just the thought of having to do in vitro fertilization at, anywhere between $15,000 to $25,000, each one, right? If you're taking care of yourself and not adding those endocrine disruptors and throwing off your hormones, then the chance of you going down that road starts to decrease, and you're hopefully saving yourself money to be able to conceive naturally. So
I really hope people are starting to see the correlation between, these massive amounts of products that are getting introduced into the market over the past 30 years and all of the chemicals that have been created in order to create a cheap product that can last really long. And we're seeing this rise in fertility clinics. And I hope people are starting to see the connection and realizing that the ingredients in products are not all that safe. And some basic ones just for your customers, oxybenzoin is in 80% of commercial sunscreens, chemical sunscreens.
Oh yeah.
And there's been a study that found 96% of the the U.S. population has found it in their blood, which is intense. That's a little crazy.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and in the summertime, it's higher intensity. And so that's one thing in sunscreen. Parabens you'll see on ingredients, so propylparaben, things like that. And propylene glycol is also another one that you want to avoid. These are actual things that you will see on the list, and fragrance.
Yeah.
But a lot of other things you won't see listed. So I think it's just really doing your research and, looking at this label, going onto a website, going into the EWG to research.
I was just about to say, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're great for ingredients. Abby suggests
The Think Dirty app on your phone.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You can just scan like a product right there, like in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Need to do the research and start looking at what they're putting on their products. I mean, there's a lot of amazing organic lines out there. So we're one, around a bunch. I think what makes us really unique is that we're not only an organic skincare line that's providing a natural solution, we're actually a really effective high-end luxury line. Our formulator has been making skincare for 30 years, and she is just incredible. She really takes nature and plant extracts and really amazing seed oils and combines them in a way so it's really, effective for your skin.
Yeah, I was reading a little bit about her on the website, so it was fascinating.
Yeah, and we're launching a new site soon, which is really exciting.
Oh,
We'll
cool.
talk a little bit more about Bunny and her team in the lab.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, look, I think in the last, I know in the last 2-3 years, I've basically stopped using sunscreen unless like I'm going to be, even the natural one, and the least toxic ones that I could find, even that I've pretty much steered away from them over the last several years. And just randomly, if I'm going to be in the sun for a really long time, I might use it. But in general, I go out just like I was 7 years old. So seeing as I'm probably not the best person to make a recommendation into how someone creates a good, balanced, basic routine for their skincare, I'm going to ask you that question, Abby, and maybe you can help the women watching come up with a good skincare routine for themselves.
Sure. Well, depending on your skin type, so some women have more oily skin or combination, blemish prone. So if you are dealing with excess oil with our line, and our line is really pretty simple and straightforward. We don't have like a ton of products, so you can do the minimum and the basics and it'll still be effective.
Which is nice, by the way. It makes it simple especially when I'm looking at the site.
So I have oily skin, and I typically get like a lot of oil in my T-zone. Sometimes I get drier cheeks, but for the most part, my skin is pretty oily. And I use our citrus mint cleanser. It's a gel cleanser.
Mm-hmm.
Our whole line is pH balanced, but the cleansers are pH balanced, and that's super important. So it's not stripping the natural oils; it's actually protecting them, so that your acid mantle, your barrier, is not being compromised. So a lot of conventional lines have like high alkaline soaps where you're just stripping away your oils.
Yeah.
If you have oily skin, that's just going to promote more oil production. And if you have dry skin, that's just going to exacerbate dryness and cause premature signs of aging. So we want to make sure we're always using pH balanced cleansers for both oily and dry skin. And I use a toning mist, which is an aloe vera juice based mist, the rosemary toning mist in the line. I use an exfoliator, maybe like once, twice, 3 times a week, depending on how I feel. But with oily skin, typically have more resilient skin. And then I will mask maybe once or twice a week, and then use a serum and an oil. But you could even go more basic than that. You could simply just cleanse, tone, and apply a moisturizer and a facial oil. And then over time, as you get comfortable with the routine, start adding in more of these specialty products. And for dry skin, we have amazing anti-aging products. So that's, I would say those are the best sellers in the line because our demographic is typically women 35, mid-60s, and those are the most potent products in the line. More luxurious, so they're going to replenish moisture into the skin. And yeah, I think, you know, our line, if you look at our moisturizers, we don't have any creams. We find that oils are superior because oils are 100% absorbed. They're super active just alone. And then we take the herbs and infuse them into the oil. So our facial oils are some of the most active in the whole line, along with our serums. So I would say if you are making an investment in, you know, anti-aging products, I would say using both our serums and oils are going to be the most effective. But and then everything else can kind of just fall into place.
And then, you know, for men, we haven't really talked about men too much, but they have the same issues as women. They just don't talk about it. They also probably don't want to spend as much time on their skincare as women do, or don't find the importance of it. So that kind of that 3-step basic routine you just mentioned would be what you'd recommend.
Yes, it could even be more simple for men because men are blessed and they actually don't age as rapidly because you're not, you know, we're dealing with like stress hormones on a much greater scale and men just have to, you know, but I would say like cleansing, toning and refreshing throughout the day, and then just moisturizing. Serums you could add in, but I know that's an extra step. It might be something that's a little
it might be a little much for those men watching. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean I've turned a lot of guys on to the products and they love it. They really do.
Yeah, I'm slowly transitioning my wife over to things, as you know, I just buy like a little sample and like I leave it there so that she's like, oh, what's this? Start to transition things. Well, you covered my other question, which was going to be, you know, what, you know, some of the favorites or best sellers and so forth. Can you talk a little bit about the makeup line? I find that that either people or I don't spend enough time on that, and in many ways that's even more important because it's how much they're using it and how much it's sitting on the skin.
Yeah, we launched the minerals I don't know, 3 years ago. 2 years ago. Yeah. Time goes by fast. And what we love about them is that they're multi-purpose, so you can apply them and dry brush them on or mix them with our facial oils to make a liquid foundation and kind of customize your coverage.
Okay.
And it only has 4 ingredients, so it's titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, mica, and then iron oxides for color. And so it's just completely pure minerals. The makeup industry, cosmetic industry is also insane with the amount of chemicals that are put in foundations and concealers and all that. So it's really nice offering a very minimal makeup line, but that's still extremely effective and we get amazing feedback on it.
And all of those ingredients are non-nano and they are tested for heavy metals because they are minerals.
Right.
So we do that stuff as well to
make sure we're auditing the sources. Yeah.
Awesome.
Right now we just have the minerals, but we are working on a few other things in the pipeline. So
surprises.
Yeah, so you'll probably see something possibly at the end of this year or into next year, but we hope to do a little bit more to branch out the minerals line.
Awesome. That's great. Any last minute things that either one of you want to share with those watching about Annmarie Skin Care and the awesome products that it is?
I would say we have a really informative blog, and you know, we are a skincare line, but we also are like a lifestyle brand, so we're constantly educating people on various topics in health and wellness. So we do have great info, and we have the We Heart column where we're promoting other lines that are like-minded and essentially like allies in the industry with us. So
oh, nice.
say the same thing. I mean, yeah, we sell skincare, but it's so much more than that. And our team knows that. It's about taking care of yourself and doing what we need to do to be just happy living in this world. And we will take steps to promote other skincare lines. We totally understand that there's so many amazing lines out there, and not everybody is going to be like, we want to be with you 100%. And we respect that, and we want people to choose, but just choose something healthy and natural and that's doing good. So.
Yeah, I love that last line. I think that's really key for everybody, you know, to choose products that are healthy and good for you. Sometimes that's not always the easiest for all of us. Sometimes it takes a little extra effort. We've got to find it. We've got to order it, whatever it is. It might not be as easy as, you know, jumping on Amazon or walking into Target or whatever it might be. But, you know, for your health, for our overall health as a community and as a planet, I think it's really, really essential. And, you know, one of the things that my wife always jokes about is that, you know, when it comes to food, you know, I'm really picky about what we keep in the house and what we ingest. Try to give a little flexibility to everybody, but I'm pretty picky. And I think the same thing comes with skincare. It's just a little bit harder to switch over. And I think hopefully this interview, you know, is motivation for everyone watching to get you moving in the right direction, to start to make some changes, some choices that are better for you and your family. And maybe Annmarie Skin Care is one of those resources that you'll use both today and in the future. So thank you, ladies, for joining. I really, really appreciate your time and energy and information. For everyone watching, if you want more information on Annmarie Skin Care, then click on the link below in the description. You can also check out my blog post on this, and that will send you to give you the links that you need to take you to their website and information. And they do have some sample packs that are really easy to help get you started, gives you a little taste of what you want, and helps you get going. And so all of that information is in the blog post as well. So thank you everyone for watching. If you have questions or comments on skincare, if you've tried Annmarie skincare products, leave a comment below, let us know. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my newsletter for all the latest and greatest, and get it straight into your inbox. So thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, Abby and Rachel, for joining me. I appreciate it. Hey, the Infertility to Pregnancy video series is available now. 5 videos full of content and tips that you're gonna love. Check it out. Click on the link below.